Did Kevin Garnett just leave LeBron James off his all-time starting five? And did he really put Michael Jordan, the so-called GOAT, as the 12th man off the bench? Well, yes he did. Now look, when KG speaks, you listen. The man is one of the most intense, respected, and brutally honest legends the league has ever seen. But this particular list, this lineup he unveiled, it's bold, it's personal, and it's kind of bizarre. It's interesting why KG made the picks he made. And what about the logic behind his switch everything approach, or the glaring contradiction in his lineup? And what does this say about how former players view the game today?
I got Kobe at my 2. We're going to switch everything, you know what I'm saying? If I need 2 more to come off, I'm going to go get VC and Jordan. I ain't put Bron on my list. I ain't put Bird on my list. It's a crazy list. I'm talking about dogs.
Every now and then, NBA legends get asked to build their all-time dream team. Most fans do it for fun, but when Hall of Famers do it, especially someone like Kevin Garnett, people listen. Back in November 2021, Garnett joined the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and dropped his all-time 12-man roster. But this wasn't just some casual barbershop debate. KG, a true student of the game, took it very seriously. He made it clear this wasn't about accolades or popularity. He wasn't trying to build a legacy team based on trophies and scoring titles. No, this was KG's team, and it was built for one purpose. He said, I'm going for a taller team because we're going to switch everything. So already we've got a strong theme there. Versatility, switchability, and length. The goal? Defense, aggression, and adaptability. Dogs only. So let's go through his starting five. At point guard, Magic Johnson. There's no surprises here. Magic is 6'9", the prototype big guard. KG pointed out how Magic could see over defenses and manipulate angles like few players ever could. And even though Magic wasn't known for elite defense, KG loved his size and playmaking. At the shooting guard, here's where things got spicy. He almost said Michael Jordan, but then pulled a classic KG switch up.
I gotta go MJ. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put Cole on my 2. Cole gonna be my 2. Oh man, this is where it started to get weird.
Wait, hold on, you left it.
I got Kobe at my 2.
Kobe Bryant, not Jordan, not Iverson, not Wade, but Kobe. And to be fair, it's not like he disrespected MJ. KG made it clear, MJ's the god, we all copied him, but I got Kobe at my 2. Respectful, sure. Controversial? Definitely. At small forward, Kevin Durant.
But I'm going for a taller team because we're going to switch everything, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm put KD at my 3. You know what I'm saying? KD's he's like a real fade, you know what I'm saying?
KG called Durant one of the best scorers ever, and at nearly 7 foot tall with a ridiculous wingspan, KD fits the switch everything scheme perfectly on paper. Then at power forward, he put Wilt Chamberlain. Yep, Wilt Chamberlain at the 4. And at the center, Kevin Garnett chose himself. So that's it. Magic, Kobe, Durant, Wilt, and Garnett. Tall, athletic, defensive-minded, at least in theory. Now let's look at the bench he chose. This is where things got even more interesting. Here's who KG named off the bench. Pete Maravich, backup point guard, Allen Iverson, Glenn Robinson, Rasheed Wallace, Shaquille O'Neal, Vince Carter, and finally, Michael Jordan. As the 12th man was MJ. Think about that for a second. Michael Jordan, widely considered the greatest basketball player of all time, a man with 6 rings, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 9 All-NBA defensive first-team selections, barely made the cut. And LeBron James? Nowhere. Not even mention Larry Bird, also nowhere. When Garnett finished naming his list, he acknowledged the elephant in the room.
Think about the list, bro. It's a crazy list. I ain't put Bron on my list. I ain't put Bird on my list. I ain't put a bunch of cats on my list.
Bro.
I'm talking about dogs.
Bro.
Everybody I just named gonna be at your ass. I ain't put Bill Russell on my list.
But you said Jordan
I
coming off the bench.
I got it. I just told you. I want to respect Mike. I respect everything about him. I love you, Mike Jordan. That's my dog. I ain't even want to disrespect the game like that.
Coming off the bench.
I just told you that, Lord. I just told you what I said, yo. That's my list.
And that's the key. Garnett's list isn't about stats. It's about mentality. KG isn't looking for the best resumes. He's looking for the most relentless players. Guys who play with a chip on their shoulder, who talk trash, who go for the kill. In other words, KG built a team that looks like him. But let's get real here for a minute. If your entire premise is building a switch everything team, the personnel has to make sense defensively. That's where Garnett's list starts to fall apart. Wilt Chamberlain at power forward? That man played in the 1960s. He barely had to switch on anything. The term switch everything didn't even exist when Wilt played. Even if you believe his raw athleticism, and sure, Wilt was a freak athlete, he never played in a modern defensive system. He's also not chasing around stretch fours or switching onto guards at the 3-point line. Then there's Magic Johnson, a 6'9" point guard, yes, but let's be honest, Magic wasn't exactly locking anyone up defensively. He was smart and long, but he wasn't a stopper. Kevin Durant is another curious case. While he played phenomenal defense during his time with the Golden State Warriors, he's never made an All-NBA defensive team in his entire career. And that matters when you're preaching defense-first versatility. So when KG says he wants a squad that can guard anybody, anywhere, but includes Wilt, Magic, and KD in the starting five, it kind of undercuts the whole defensive philosophy. It feels like he got caught between I want switchable defenders and I want bucket getters I respect. And those two goals don't always necessarily align. Now let's talk about the biggest omission of them all, LeBron James. No matter how you feel about the GOAT debate, LeBron belongs in any serious all-time conversation. And it's not even just about the longevity or the numbers. LeBron is a 4-time MVP, a 4-time champion, the all-time leading scorer, one of the most versatile players in league history. And perhaps most relevant to KG's vision, LeBron is literally the poster child for switchable positionless basketball. He's guarded 1 through 5. He invented the concept of playing point forward at a time when playing point forward wasn't necessarily the be-all and end-all of an offense. He anchored defenses, called switches on the fly, and dictated pace for 20 years. If anyone fits a switch everything model, it's LeBron. So why was he left out? It could be personal. Garnett and LeBron had battles in the playoffs. They were never exactly friends. But even then, it's hard to justify excluding him if your list is truly about performance and adaptability. More likely, this was Garnett doubling down on the dog mentality thing. Maybe in his eyes, LeBron just doesn't have that same edge, the same mean streak that KG values. But that's subjective, and it's also a little misguided, because LeBron's calm demeanor doesn't negate his competitiveness. It just looks different from Garnett's snarling, headbutt the padding type intensity. Here's the thing, KG is passionate. No one can ever question that, and when he talks about the game, it's from a real place. But sometimes you have to wonder if these takes are meant to grab headlines more than they are to educate fans or truly honor greatness. Leaving LeBron off entirely? Making Jordan the 12th man? It's entertaining, sure, but does it really reflect deep thought about team building, errors, fit, and impact? It feels like KG, like many former players, leans into nostalgia and personal relationships more than actual analysis at times. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Everyone's entitled to their own list after all. But when you're on a platform with millions of viewers, your words carry weight. They shape narratives. They influence fans. So when you say we're switching everything and then build a team with questionable defenders, different errors that don't match, and outdated schemes, it leaves people scratching their heads. And ultimately, it feels like a missed opportunity to bridge generations and bring insight into how different styles and skill sets match. At the end of the day, Kevin Garnett's list is authentically KG. Raw, passionate, aggressive, and loyal to the players who reflect his values. But it's also flawed. In trying to build a modern, switchable, positionless team, he ended up choosing some guys who wouldn't survive a single possession switching onto modern guards. He left off 2 of maybe the top 5 players in NBA history, LeBron James and Larry Bird, and reduced Michael Jordan to a deep bench spark plug. Is it outrageous? Absolutely. Is it honest? Without a doubt. Does it make for a great discussion? Well, you bet. But as fans and analysts, we can both respect KG's fire and recognize the gaps in his logic, because sometimes even legends say some wild stuff. But what do you think of KG's all-time lineup? Did he snub too many greats, or is he just being real? Drop your top 5 in the comments below and let me know where you'd put Jordan and LeBron. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another deep dive. I'm Damian Peters, and we'll catch you in the next one.